Travel Manitoba is super happy to have hosted this past year's 2019 Advisory Council meeting. I think going to ETC for the past 3 years has really helped us understand this market. It's a very, very unique market. I'm really excited to showcase my own province and what we have to offer, both in cultural, transformational, Indigenous, and wildlife experiences.
Thank you, Manitoba. Manitoba was the unexpected treasure. The breadth, the depth, and the extent of the travel learning venues that they afforded us have really allowed us to do a very productive and I would say inspirational and truly, truly enjoyable meeting here in Winnipeg and Churchill.
If I were to go to Churchill, I would certainly stop in Winnipeg first, and I would see the highlights of Winnipeg. We certainly saw a lot of wildlife at the zoo, and of course, I have to throw in the Parliament building. That was very, very interesting.
The product base has expanded a lot. Younger entrepreneur coming in with different formulas for their business and combining, for instance, fashion with food. The Swedenborg Zoo, they have a great exhibit on the polar bear, its behavior. Winnipeg has got a tremendous base of post-industrial buildings of the late 1800s, but in 1900s.
We've done everything from wildlife viewing to going to the Human Rights Museum to an art gallery to a fashion studio. I had no intention or expectation to spend an evening with a local artist learning about the environmental impact that clothing waste can have.
I was really looking forward to going to Churchill. I completely underestimated Winnipeg. It is vibrant and diverse. We took the Hermetic Code tour with Dr. Frank Albo. It was amazing. It has to be one of the best tours I've ever been on.
Wow, the food. The food was fantastic. Manitoba was unexpectedly diverse. There's a great reverence for history and there's a great forward-thinking attitude.
I knew about the Executive Advisory Council and I knew they would go on a trip and talk about the conference, but I didn't realize how much work went into actually building the pieces, the sessions of the conferences. From a travel planner side of things, it's been very interesting to watch how the destination, in this case Manitoba and Canada, working together with the providers, the multiple providers that are talking to us about what they're doing here and letting us see behind the scenes of how things go, but seeing how they work together. As a travel planner, we see one side of things, but was there enough here, that I could bring a whole trip? And now it's like, wow, that's amazing.
Coming from South America, my experience in Manitoba has just blown my mind. The resources from a tourism perspective are just surpassed my expectations.
The Museum of Human Rights did a fabulous job at encompassing the whole history of the human rights story. The architecture and the content and the thought that's gone into creating this and put it together, you do really have one of the most extraordinary museums in the world.
Churchill is probably one of the most northern regions of North America that you could go to. This going far out to the edges is really a great metaphor for what we're doing at ETC. It's all about professional development. This is the one place where we as a community can come and grow and learn together. We really have in Manitoba here all constituencies represented. So we're really integrating the discussion, the reflection, thinking about what it means to offer educational travel and at the same time experiencing a destination and the uniqueness of the place and how that informs our discussions.
We're in Churchill! I'm confident that people would come here and find that they've gotten an incredibly rich experience and diverse experience, all summed into one incredible trip.
We all come from different size institutions with different missions. Aquarium, we have the museum, which all have different foci for what we're doing with our programs. What I really appreciated is how well we work together and listen to each other and try to understand where each person is coming from, including the destinations and the operators and the suppliers. That was so valuable to see their side of the business and to understand what they consider important and how they approach this business.
One thing I'm really excited to see on this itinerary are the polar bears.
The Churchill experience is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience because you do get to see so many polar bears, where they actually place that town and in the path of the polar bear migration, which was for the fur trade and not for the best logistical purpose to place a town in the path of these moving and migrating bears every season.
So I'm excited to be representing other travel directors, my colleagues from all over the United States representing them and helping to put together a good conference. I've never seen the beluga whales in the wild, so I'm excited about that as well.
I love being a part of the ETC community, planning for next year's conference and making sure our community is the best it really can be. The experience out on the water was really unparalleled and blew away all expectations.
Seeing the beluga whales in their natural habitat was the most amazing thing. To have great experiences together as a whole, but also time for individual conversations.
It's been remarkable how much the EAC has changed and I think improved. Each year has gotten better, and really the buy-in from all the different stakeholders is remarkable. And how can we make the conference the best it can be, working to the fullest for all stakeholders? I knew Manitoba would do a great job. The provincial tourism boards up here are exceptional, and they've exceeded my expectations.